Alright, how you doing? It's Unlimited UAV again. This is a flawless game with the Type 100 slash SCP-44. It's a rather boring match, so I'm just gonna give you some facts about the stage of Cliffside. There is no, I haven't played the single player game all the way through, so I'm not sure if there's a reference to Cliffside or where it's actually located, but just from how the map's designed and the way the terrain is, I'm pretty sure it's on the island of Saipan. I'm sorry. And before I go on with that, let me just say I want to thank all the subscribers for tuning in and watching my videos, and hopefully rating them at some point. But I'm going through a hard time in my life right now, and the moral support you guys are giving me is fantastic. I always said love outweighs the hate, and it's damn true, brother. I did use the Type 100 again in this match. I did. It's a gun repeat because I just posted a Type 100 video. Mainly posted just because of the flawless. So I promise you, the Type 100 won't be used extensively. I'm not even a big submachine gun guy myself. Japanese Cliffside in Japan had two cliffs on it. One was called Suicide Cliff, and one was called the Bonsai Cliff. The Suicide Cliff had roughly 200 to 300 Japanese infantrymen jump off of it rather than surrender because of they lost their post on Saipan. And at the same aspect, one of the generals, well, actually two of the generals that were actually in charge of the island of Saipan, committed harakiri, which is an ancient samurai's technique where they would take an officer Chinese sword and cut the right side of their belly with the blade, and then have another person stand behind them and decapitate them. This was a way to die honorably, and the Japanese believed in honor and death over everything else, and they were scared of the American troops. I mean, literally. There was 22,000 civilians on the island of Saipan when the Marines invaded, and pretty much almost all of them committed suicide by hand grenades or jumping to their death off the other cliff, which was Bonsai Cliff, also known as Putan Sabinata. Putan Sabinata. The Putan Sabinata is also called the $1 Million Hole by the Marines, because rather than, shipping a supplement and surplus war supplies back home, they would take them all and throw them down this cliff and just destroy them. It was nicknamed the $1 Million Hole. Like I was saying, the Japanese were scared of Americans. They would tell the kids, the big bad Americans, they're going to come and they're going to molest them, they're going to rape them, they're going to kill them, they're going to torture them, and death is a better alternative than to be captured by them, because they're going to do horrible things to you and your family. This incident I'm about to talk at happened on Guadalcanal and not Saipan, but one of the prisoners, seeing the Americans coming, wasn't a prisoner, he was actually a civilian, a Saipan civilian, seeing the prisoners coming, and rather than surrendering, he consoled around his family, and he took his hands, and he killed his sister, his brother, and his mother. His mother, he couldn't bring himself to choke his mother to death. I'm pretty sure he choked. So what he would have to do, he had to get a big rock and bash her over the head with it. And after he had killed his entire family, because they agreed for him to do it, he was going to jump off the cliff. But at that time, the American troops had came upon their hut or the cliff at this particular juncture, and they had captured him. And he is still alive today. I mean, he was in a documentary about 2 years ago. And he was talking about how bad the Americans were. And after he actually got caught, he was actually treated better than his own country treated him when he was a prisoner of war. And he's actually has to be stayed under suicide watch because he's pretty traumatized over the events that happened during World War II. He's a rather old man at this point. But, you know, some things in life are just ugly. I think Ron Perlman said it best in Fallout 3. War is hell, and it never changes. This video is nowhere near close. Hell, I got 2 more minutes. But the key to team deathmatch here is basically watching out where your teammates are at. You see my teammates are on the right side of the map right here, so I know my flank's covered from that side, so they only can come up the left side of the map. Cliffside is a map of what I call channels. There's 3 main channels: the big middle one, the right side, and the left side. If you can cover 2 channels at the same time, you can pretty much dictate where the flow of enemies are going to be, unless somebody throws some salt in your game, like with camouflage and such. But for pretty much, it's a rather easy map to go flawless on if you use your head and you play conservative. As you can see right here, I'm moving around the map, pretty much running, gunning, and they can't really do too much about me. I end up going 19-0, and that's pretty much it. I'm just going to leave you now with finish watching the rest of the video in silence. This is your boy Unlimited UAV, the last surviving member of the Nostromo, signing off.